are live. Oh boy. Who knew if you kick? Who knew? Oh boy. Hello, hopefully everyone rejoins. Who knows it was bad if you actually kicked the cord that your webcam's plugged in with and it goes flying. We'll give time for people to rejoin. Yes, we're back. Hi again. You guys can rejoin. Just everyone will rejoin. We'll give them a minute, 5 minutes. Make sure you re-like the stream so we can get likes on this one as well. Do you see what you did? Do you see what you made me do? Do you see what you made me do? Do you see what you made me do? Do you see what happened because of you? You did that. Oh, I didn't do that. You did that. It's all right. Everyone's rejoining. Pretend like it didn't happen. You know who's a big button pusher is Simba, unfortunately. Yeah, do you see? This is like, you're like a very heavy wrist accessory. All right, everyone's going to reflock in, so we'll be okay. And guys, this gives you a second time to like the stream. So please leave a like button. Which is really good. Did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up? You like nodded yourself. What is that? You went under yourself here? First you end the first stream prematurely. And now you've turned yourself into a pretzel. I'm going to bring Ahsoka back as people join. So if people join, you guys can let them know that I'm going to be right back. I'll come back with Tetra, and we'll just continue talking. I got to undo this knot here when I go put her back. Right? Right. Right. Look what you've done here. I can't believe you've done this. No. This is just, she'll never let go. All right, let me swap her out. Come. Let's go. So it's so much different when you are holding a boa and they, even though they're not choking you, like they do wrap around you and they do grip, and it's just a different feeling. And then you get a ball python, doesn't do any of that. It's just sitting there, it's just chilling. It's not doing anything. It's just a big different feel. Hi, coming around here. Oh, you're going up there? All right, very good. Don't you want to be on camera? No? Try. Look how long you are. You go all the way to the floor here. Get over here. Hi, honey. Let's go like this. Come here. How about this? Does this work? Is this on? Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes. Yes, Lena, I got this out for you just so you could see how quirky she is. Actually, as soon as I walked in the room, she came right to the front of the tank and We'll go that. So, so please re-like the stream, guys. Sorry, there's a little technical issues last stream. This will be part 2 continued. We still got 20 minutes of streaming, so don't worry about it. And if you asked a question and it didn't get answered because I was scrolling down through the chat, just re-ask. It's fine. Just re-ask. It's fine. Can dragons live in the same house as long-haired dogs and cats? Yeah, that's fine. Now, how your dragon and how the other animals are going to interact with it, it's kind of all over the place. Some are best friends with the dogs and cats. Others want to kill the dogs and the cats, and the other ones, the dog and the cats, want to kill the dragon. So, but if everyone's friendly, there's no problem with that. They've slept together, things like that. Drummer is so small. Well, yeah, but Drummer is like over 2 decades younger, so I would hope that there's some size here. I would hope so. Okay, that's very good. And remember, guys, I know I said just please re-ask your question or ask new questions. Otherwise, I'll start ranting about something, which is fine. No, you shouldn't. There shouldn't be respiratory problems just for that. Hopefully, they're not like always licking the cat while it's shedding and stuff. But aye. Tetra inspired me to get a girl. Okay, so the temperament is normally the same, but yeah, the girls get large, right? This is 4 feet here. This is a big snake. This is over 20 years old of ball python, right? This is, you can't even see her. She's curled here. Her head's curled here. This is a big, friendly snake. But the reason why I love ball pythons is because this is your large. Sometimes they get a little bit larger, a handful of inches, females. Very rare for a male to get this big. But this is a one-person snake. This is a super friendly snake. This is a one-person snake. This is, you want to cuddle with this snake, good to go. What you don't see is normally when it's cooler in the winter and I have her out for a long time, I'll put her on my shoulders and then I'll put on my shirt after I've put her on, and then she's like hanging, pretend like on the back of my neck like this, right? So her body is down to my mid back, her one tail's up here and her head's up here. Then I put my shirt on and she just pokes her head out from the side right here. And we just spend the day washing dishes in the morning and things like that. And she's just watching and she just sits there. And then sometimes she's sleeping. So most of the time she's probably sleeping. I think I'm a bore. But yeah, this is and you get this behavior through the color morphs of ball pythons too. So don't let the color morphing, the behavior like this is the same. The only downside to ball pythons, honestly, because they're so friendly and they become so used to you, especially, but also other people, is they stop balling up, right? So you see it with the babies. They're called ball pythons because they ball up. And sometimes babies or newer snakes are cool. You can hold them in one hand. And they do that out of fear and out of protection. But when you get a big snake like this, she's so friendly and she's so used to you, she doesn't ball up anymore. So because she's not scared, she's just hanging out, she's just chilling with us, right? So they don't do the ball part of the ball python, they just become normal pythons. That's the only downside. Do dragons need carpet to run on or cold tile floor, or can they run? They can run on everything just fine. Like any animal, when they really get going, there's little pitter patter. You hear them stomping away. Obviously, they get better grip on carpet, but they can run on hardwood floor and tile and linoleum. And you don't want it to be super ice cold. Right on the house floor. I gotcha. How come so many breeders see normal? Well, that's because the pricing of the normal pythons is not worth it to a breeder. You're going to spend, potentially let's say $1,000 by the time this snake, your electricity, the food, the time to cleaning the poop and mix and match them to get a normal ball python that sells for under $100. There's right. It's just that's not how you make most of your money. Where you spend the same amount of money and time with a python that is the same weight, the same amount of time, the same money, the same routine, but because of the color, you can now sell for thousands or tens of thousands. So one is much more profitable than the other. Now, these are considered normal. With Burmese pythons, they're considered wild color or wild type. I don't know why they're just not called normals. I actually really like the normal. I think it looks really natural and is very unique. But there's something to be said if I was holding a bright red snake right now with the same temperament, or a yellow and orange snake, or a yellow and purple snake that was doing this, to each his own, right? Now, personally, make sure she doesn't grab the cord to the camera, but that's for the person. Do I think a snake that's acting like this and is the same snake but is red is worth $5,000? No, I don't. I don't get it, but whatever. I don't tell people how to spend their money, so it's up to them. Good morning to you and Simba and all of your critters. Amy, good morning. Simba has not come out yet, but he will be coming out soon. He is looking at me right there. He'll be coming out in about 5 minutes. Speaking of snakes, I wish there were more breeders who sell water snakes. Yeah. They sell under, I also what it is too is how easy it is to keep the animal, right? So when you have water snakes, the breeding is much more difficult. And the care is much more difficult compared to something like this. So just the time, the ease of breeding, and then the return money that you get. So why do a lot of people probably not breed water snakes? Because a lot of people don't want to own a water snake. I just learned that my dragons are brumating. I fed them before they went into brumating. What do I do now? I'm worried the food won't get that's a good question. It should be fine. If they ate, they probably didn't shut everything down, Michael. If they didn't eat a ton, if you felt like you ate them a ton and they really are brumating, you can pull them out and you can have them bask, and you can stop them from brumating. It just always depends, honestly. It's a hard thing where there's not just a simple question and an answer for that to answer. So some reptiles do eat before they go into brumation, bearded dragons, and then they wake up from brumation and they take just a huge crap, right? Just like massive. And sometimes there's a little bit of blood in there, and that's just because of the size, and it's normal. And because everything was sitting in there for so long, things are irritated, inflamed, and that's what the dragon does. So, I don't know if it's ever brumated before, but normally if they've eaten just a little bit, it's okay. It's when they have a real full belly. If they ate 15 dubia roaches and then went into brumation, that's going to be a problem. If they had a dubia roach, you're probably pretty safe. What do you do if your power goes out? That's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. Well, I have a backup generator. So the reptile rooms are, I ran from my circuit breaker separate because it's in my house, right? A dedicated outlet to their rooms that everything runs off of for each room, 220 amp outlets in each room going to the same breaker. So if the power were to go out, I have a generator that more than enough runs. I just have to run an extension cord to Simba's location, and then the heater on the turtle tank location. And then if it were to, let's say, be out for an extended time, then I would just run off the same generator, a space heater for the room. If you have one animal, it's also just easy to, like you said, get little portable hand heaters, battery charge heaters, things like that. Is it better to have a fan or air con in the room to reduce humidity a little bit? Well, a fan's going to circulate the air. So if there's drier air elsewhere, it can pull in and move the drier air around. Air conditioning is going to do the whole home, but it's also going to cool the air. A dehumidifier, if the humidity was really high, is the best thing you can do to bring down humidity, especially because you can set the percent, run automatically, and it doesn't drastically change the temperature one way or the other. And the dragons stay out of the enclosure for a long period of time, as you 8 hours in a room. 64 is cold. 68 is really a safe spot for them. They can dip down to about 65 Fahrenheit overnight, but that's really the coldest you want to go. But 70, 71, 72, yeah, they could be out for an extended time, especially if they're not eating. But what you can do when they're out is you can put a heat light out that's just going to a spot on the floor. You can do a heating pad. A lot of people will put a heating pad on the floor, put it on low or on medium, a human heating pad. And when the dragon is out, you let it get a little cool, and then you bring it to that area and you put it there, and then they will know that, hey, this area has heat, so it can go out and investigate, and then it will come back to the heat when it gets too cool. But that's how you do it. You have to let them be out and cool down a little bit. You have to have that heat source already up and going, and then you bring them to that heat source. Yes, they like 10 plus dubias. Well, how do you know they're brumating? How long have they been asleep? Things like that. Because it's possible, too, that they could just be sitting for, a couple days. Do you plan on breeding snakes? So, no, I'm not going to. But my brother, who was, by the way, 5 years ago, deadly afraid of snakes. Deadly afraid of snakes. He's a doctor. His wife is a doctor. He now breeds ball pythons. When he redid his basement, he put a snake breeding room, and he breeds all the cool things, pie balls and, all of that. And I've been over there and I've helped him quite a bit. He's got his own incubator and a rack system, and it's all really nice quality. And his morphs are really, really nice. And maybe I'll show them off on the channel sometime. He just lives an hour away. But the nice thing is he has an incubator. So because I do plan to breed Smog and Ventress, my blackthroats, and I do plan to breed Simba and Nala together. It's really monitor lizards or more, get these traits down and really get things that you can tame, recognize commands and things like that, and really have docile, smart lizards. So I can, if they lay eggs, I can put them in a container, bring them over to him, put them in his incubator, and we can hatch them there. My little dragon Naaman has moved in the corner of her tank closest to the laptop. Yeah, okay, so here's the cool thing. Guys, you have to check out Double Dragon's Hotel. She has a rescued bearded dragon that has no back legs and has like half a tail. And just to show you how things adapt, when she walks, she tries to use those back legs that she doesn't have. She has little nubbins. But this female bearded dragon uses her tail basically as a leg. And because of that, her tail is massive, like massively muscular. And it's fascinating to see how they evolved to use that. I mean, much thicker than anything you would see on a normal bearded dragon, especially a bearded dragon of that size. But it goes to show you how these reptiles and animals can evolve to make up, not being born with or losing things at a young life. It's very fascinating, that bearded dragon. And also, if you don't know, reptiles love to watch TV, YouTube, things like that. I mean, they're fascinated. When I play Overwatch and Simba is on the bed with me, he is just staring. It's like sensory overload for him. He's just eyes wide open, staring at the screen as things are moving and the colors are changing. I mean, it's just fascinating to see. It's been a super sad few weeks. Unfortunately, very unexpectedly, my Savannah monitor, Joanne, passed away. Oh, no. Do you have any idea, Amy, as to why? I don't know if you paid for a necropsy. I don't remember how old Joanne was. It's unfortunate. I'm so sorry. But the nice thing to know is, well, normal Savannah monitors are not super expensive. and they all tame down like Simba does, and it doesn't take a lot of work. It only takes more work if they were a rescue that was treated poorly, because then they have, you have to clear them thinking all humans are bad. So I do plan, by the way, to sell monitor babies of super tame monitors. So when you have super tame parents, and then I work with the babies, and then can sell those out, they're not expensive. They'll be the normal price of the going rate of that. But we're still probably at minimum a year before Nala is big enough to be bred by Simba. Simba's a bit of a big boy, and Nala's a little bit of a small girl. And Smog and Ventress, she's trying. She is sexually taking advantage of him quite often. I just need him to try a little bit. Let's see where we're at. Here we go. 2 have been brewmating about 2 months. Well, the ones that have been brewmating for 2 months, you just let them ride. And the one that's been going a couple days, if it's because 2 months, everything's already happened that's going to happen. The one that's been going a couple days, I would just wait and see what happens. So I'm still waiting for Mongo to wake up. He's at 6.5 months in his brumation, and it's I turned his lights on hoping it would wake him up, and it just pissed him off, unfortunately. But he's always pissed at me. So especially as they get older like that, their brumation time becomes so long. So like sometimes it stinks, right, to have a pet for 12 months out of the year, but 6.5, 7 of those months he spends sleeping. What a life. And the other 3 to 4 months he spends eating and pooping and having his servant clean and feed him. I'll be first in line. Yeah, that's the plan. Well, and especially for you, if I can get a female over to you, that would be good, because Chester, should I put dark hiding spaces around the enclosure? You should have a cave in the bearded dragon's enclosure, and then typically you're good. I cannot find this info. How much calcium should I give my Russian tortoise? Yeah, so April, it's different. I sprinkle for tortellini, because it depends on what you're feeding. If you're feeding tortoise chow, it's all built into there, and it's a little bit easier for them to digest. Come over here, Tetra. But when I feed non-tortoise chow to tortellini, when I give them a vegetable, I'll sprinkle. You just need to put a little bit, because it's highly absorbent, especially if you've got a good UVB bulb there. Tortoises absorb a lot of that calcium because the tortoise digestion is very slow. So that stuff sits there, and they digest, and they absorb, and they absorb, and they absorb, and absorb. So a little sprinkle, if you're feeding daily, let's say 2 to 3 times a week, it's typically more than enough. Marty says no to the stream. He likes watching aquarium channels. I'm going to need you to dance around. Oh, fascinating. Because I really need your questionable burglar bearded dragon to approve. Thanks. Heck, I thought about breeding Chester. Just don't have female. Well, Chester still needs to get a little bit more tamed down, because you also want to make sure that he's not a wild maniac, because you may not want to pass the traits of a serial killer down to, and then a female that is likely. But Chester's just about where he could breed now. The only problem is if you try to get a female for him that's his size, you don't really know the temperament right away. Thank you. That's awesome. He has been the best protector. Tortoises, especially tortoises that say smaller Russian tortoises, redfoot, cherry heads, etc. Nice, great pets. Stop that. Stop that. Stop trying to film. Get off my face. But yeah, odds are my side. I'll gladly try. Yeah. Is a black bulb necessary for? No, it's not. If you need nighttime heating, what I do and what I recommend. So again, bearded dragons can dip down to about 65 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. That's like on the edge. So if you say 67, 68, but on all my tanks, just in case, because I don't ever know if someone leaves a window open, something like that, I have a ceramic heat emitter, so they don't produce light. plugged into a thermostat, right? Just a $20 one from Amazon. And the probe goes right in the tank. And I have it set at 67 degrees. So if it ever gets cooler than 67 degrees, that thing will kick on. It's a 3-degree temperature high. It'll heat it up to 70, shut off, etc. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, I'm going to put Tetra back so we can wrap up. I'm going to take Simba out. If you have any other reptile questions at all, ask, or anything you want to say, or just say hi. If you haven't, please like the stream so people watch it. All right, here we go. Oh boy. Oh God. Oh God. Sir? Hi, sir. Hi. I'm live streaming. Well, they want to see you on the stream. No, I know you're trying to sleep. It's not my fault. What do you want from me? Well, what about them? They're the ones that want. Don't get mad at me. They're the ones that want you to be up. He's pissed at me already. Oh, it's 10 o'clock anyways, lazy. Come. You need to be burped. Oh. Is that my fault? Let's see what we missed. We got to catch up on some comments. Snake, kiss, heart face, heart face, heart face. My boa does the same thing, so they're on my face. It's interesting because honestly, I think all snakes just have a semi-arboreal nature. And why wouldn't you? Because if you're trying to climb away from something, like sometimes going up in a tree is very safe. So it's interesting how we say some snakes are arboreal and some are not. But I honestly think in the wild, the snake is going to go wherever is the best place, whether it's up a tree or in a hole. They're just going to go to the best place. Ever been bitten by your snake? I've not been bitten by my snakes. Ahsoka tried to bite me. She was the only one that tried to bite me when I first got her. I was taming her down. Now, snakes, they've not bitten me. They've missed. But snakes sometimes miss the tongs when feeding and when show feeding. And, they could have bitten me if I would have been in the wrong position. But that is because they missed, where they were biting. The boy is here. The boy is very tired right now, so he's just hugging me and laying down. Well, I don't know what they expected. They wanted you to jump through a flaming hula hoop or something. Yeah. Don't lick my ear. That's bestiality. I'm tired still too. So cute. Has he been sleeping in bed? Well, not today. He hasn't, but a couple times a week. It really depends on not only him, but sometimes I don't want to disturb him. I'm up working really late in my bed on my laptop and things. So it depends. But Simba sleeps in the bed about 50% of the time. Yes to the flaming hula hoop. Yeah, that's what he wants. That's what you guys demand from him. Hi, buddy. Hello. Yeah, we're just wrapping up this live stream. So any last comments, questions, guys? Let me know. But this is hopefully what I hope to breed out to show people this, because Simba will sit like this for hours. So, did you hear of the misconception that snakes don't have bones? I haven't heard of that because it's like quite obvious. We know snakes have bones because we X-ray them. We have the skeletons. We cut them open. People hunt them. So I don't know who would have thought that. That would have been so long ago. Or the one where snakes lay next to you. Yeah, that we hear all the time. Although I think that was just a story someone was telling. And It's always someone telling the story. Oh, my friend had a snake, and again, that was just a fake story someone told, and it gets passed around. Because in the wild, do you really think like something lets a snake go lay next to it? That way, it can get sized up like a rat or a mouse or a squirrel or a chipmunk. Yeah, no. Stupid misconceptions that are just so fake beyond belief. Now, snakes can eat people. Just let's be clear here. Especially reticulated pythons in the wild, they eat small deer, small cows, and they have been found with people inside of them. That's a wild animal that it's typically it's very interesting. But in the middle of the night in the jungle, and you go out there, an anaconda probably could as well. A green anaconda, at least. Yellow anacondas are quite a bit smaller. But a wild dog, a stray pit bull could kill someone, right? A lion can kill someone. So, just you have to be clear when you're looking at someone's pet versus a wild animal. I love your stream. Oh, thank you. Well, thanks. I really love connecting with you guys and streaming once a month because I know people ask questions. And if you see people, the best thing you can do to help out is if you're watching any of my videos and my live stream, obviously leave a like, that helps. You leave a comment on the video. But if you see people ask questions, you can just say, hey, he does catch his end of month live stream. It's the last Saturday of every month, and he answers all the questions that are asked. It's so hard. I try to tell people too, but if you happen to notice one, when you're you watch the video and you see there's a couple questions there, you can just say, hey, watch his end of month live stream and ask this, and he'll answer. Assuming non-venomous, at what point does your snake become a 2 or more person snake? Size. It's size. So typically not to sound sexist, but typically men can handle because more muscular and things. But a snake that potentially could wrap around you and kill you when you're alone and you cannot unwrap that snake is when it becomes a 2-person snake. We'll be back. I know what you want. You're trying to grab it. So, what's a 2-person snake? For everyone, it kind of changes, but you just don't want to be. You just don't want to. Look what I found. I know. I know. I know. Uh-oh. Oh boy. I just want to ask these last questions. Oh boy. Where are you from? I'm from Michigan, the United States. Okay, I will do. I always wonder what to say to the next question. Yeah. What you say to the questions is you don't have to try to answer them if you're not sure, you don't feel comfortable. You can just say he does a live stream at the end of every month, the last Saturday of every month, where he answers so many questions. That's the big thing. They'll also $5, $4.99 to be exact. Thank you so much for the reptiles. Yes, it is. I appreciate it. Simba, release me. No, Simba, get the balls. What do you want? I know we already talked about the black bulb. Hopefully you heard that. I think as long as your temperature isn't dripping below like 67 Fahrenheit, you're fine. Joining the Patreon. Okay, so if you are a Patreon member, you do get the biggest benefit is Discord. So, and in the Discord, I am there obviously every day, direct message typing to me, voice chats with me, but so are the other members, and we're so friendly. But we are in voice chat. I do spontaneous feedings through Patreon, or just hanging out with the reptiles, or just saying, hey, I've got 10 minutes where I'm going to be training Simba today, and I'm going to have my Discord video on him or something else. So you get a lot of content that's just spur of the moment content. But also I take input and ask questions myself on, I'm training Simba with this. What do you guys think? So you do get a lot of that. That's the main thing I offer with Patreon is Discord. It's a huge, cool way to interact when I have so many people that want to interact. But I feel like I try to give a lot of content out through that. Dude, Simba, that ball went all the way across the room. There's no way. You had to do that during the live stream. Like you had to just send it 20 feet in the opposite direction. Yeah, great. Just great. So let's wrap up these last couple questions here. And yes, anyone you advertise, if anyone ever says anything, you can advertise Patreon. I appreciate it. And you can let them know about what a huge benefit Discord is and everything that goes on there. So these are the last questions. We're going to wrap this up because then I've got stuff to do today with the reptiles. What do you think is the best large lizard? This right here, Savannah Monitor. Black and white tegu is a meat eater. Mostly people will do. So their poop smells much more than an insect eater. This a Savannah Monitor is much more interactive. If you do a tegu enclosure correctly, they spend most of the time underground in their cave. They come out to eat. Good. Otherwise, you could do it incorrectly and have them out as show animals. His Royal Highness Simba has had enough. Yeah, he has. I'm a Patreon member. I don't know how to. Peggy, I'll send. I will make a post on Patreon, Peggy, about a new Discord invite link for everyone later today. And then Discord is just a program that you download, and then it'll ask you, hey, do you want to join a server? And you put in the link to the server, and it will be posted on Patreon again. Go check on Patreon. Yeah, I'll do a new link too, but they're up there. Unhand me, oh man. Yes, unhand me indeed. Okay, that's it. We're wrapped up. Simba wants his ball that he sent flying. He sent it flying. It's a black ball. Are you missing my answer? It's like the fourth time I've answered you. You're killing me. No, it's not necessary. Okay. For any of the ages. It's not necessary for any of the ages, as long as, just going to leave, goodbye. I'll keep this here. As long as your tank temperature doesn't really dip below 67, 66 Fahrenheit. He's just laying on the seat next to me. Hi, this is my microphone. He's just laying there, and he's going to bed. Great. I'll just hold this. Thank you. If you feel like you could, what I do for safety precaution is a ceramic heat emitter in a dome hooked up to a thermostat that I set to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. That way, just in case it were to ever get cold, it will kick on by itself and it will kick off by itself. Yeah. It's okay. You don't have to apologize. I'm just teasing. So sorry to be late. Bit early for me. That's fine. No. All good. I hope you had a great holiday and awesome New Year. Yes, everyone. I hope everyone, like I said, had a great holiday. And I hope you guys have great New Year's. This is a lot of fun. That's a nice dig, dog. Yeah, I gotcha. I have a thermometer. Very good. All right, guys. Simba's going to get his ball that he sent flying. But thank you again so much for this end of the month stream. We're going to cut it here because I got a lot of work to get done today with these guys. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.